Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. The Standard published a lengthy piece asking, is it over for Harry and Meghan? Publicist Jane Owen tells The Standard, currently they are definitely not doing well in LA's social scene. Quite frankly, they were given every opportunity to shine in Hollywood. They had a huge deal at a top streaming network with a massive budget and an audience eager to listen and watch. They have done worse than nothing. They have actively destroyed the opportunities they were given. I've always said Hollywood could be compared to high school in terms of how people behave, and to use that analogy, they've become the most unpopular kids in school. Another well-placed LA insider tells The Standard, people in Hollywood are definitely wary of working with them right now, and everyone knows Archwell is a revolving door when it comes to staff. I wouldn't advise anyone to take a job there right now. Add to the pile on with this quote from Stacey Jones, founder of LA marketing agency Hollywood Branded. Harry and Meghan's clout has taken a hit over the past year. Hollywood operates on trust that a project will deliver, that a partnership will be beneficial, and that public perception will remain positive. Losing the Spotify deal in 2023 lingered into 2024, and without a major win this year, they've struggled to regain their footing. However, access isn't the issue for Harry and Meghan, it's enthusiasm. They're not going to struggle to get a table at a top restaurant, and their presence will always generate buzz at events, but Hollywood's excitement about them has cooled compared to their early days. The industry is weighing the risks and rewards of collaboration more carefully, especially after a few public missteps and underwhelming results. Royal watcher Kinsey Schofield said, I think professionally a lot rides on the success of Harry and Meghan's upcoming Netflix projects. A year ago, we were debating whether or not Meghan would run for office, and now we're debating when she might sell her first jar of jam. Such a fall from grace that it's hard to even process. Di Davies, a former head of royal protection, took aim at Harry's recent trips, claiming the Duke's interactions with local communities lacked authenticity, focusing mainly on the elite. Davies said, in Colombia, although there are very rich people there, the vast majority, 85% or 90%, are very poor. And what I've noticed of these tours, he mixes with the upper classes. He doesn't really, apart from carefree orchestrated areas where he mixes with the so-called normal people, well, they're not. These are carefully orchestrated campaigns as far as I can see. It's all about Harry and Meghan. It's very little to do with an actual alleged rationale for going there. Royal commentator Duncan Larcombe also questioned Harry's relatable image, suggesting it might not extend beyond official engagements. Harry's always been very good when he's been with African orphans or people at homeless shelters or people with mental health problems, but in his private life, his circle of friends has remained the rich and the powerful. I suppose you could say there's a difference between Harry doing royal-like duties and Harry when he's off duty. I'm not aware of him keeping in touch with people like Ben McBean, wounded soldiers he's met on jobs. He tends to save those actions for official jobs rather than him forging friendships here, there, and everywhere. More Palace in just a moment. Is King Charles short for a royal? When the royal family gathered for the ceremonial welcome at Horse Guards Parade in London, joined by the Emir of Qatar, one surprising detail caught everyone's attention: the height difference between King Charles III and the rest of the group. At 5'10", King Charles appeared noticeably shorter when standing alongside Prince William, who towers at 6'3", and Kate, whose boots elevated her above her usual 5'9". Even Queen Camilla, at 5'8", seemed closer in height to the king, particularly in photos showing her opting for low-heeled shoes. Prince William remains the tallest member of the royal family, with Prince Harry not far behind at 6'2". The late Prince Philip also stood tall at 6 foot, offering a clear answer as to where the younger royals inherited their height. The king has a favourite section of the supermarket. He recently visited Morrison's and said, I'm so glad that Morrison's still has a butchery counter, before adding the cheeky remark, no one else does. His quip left the workers delighted by the unexpected compliment. Despite his enthusiasm, the king has someone else do his supermarket shopping for him. As Britain adjusts to the new reign of King Charles III, a royal initiative to offer free portraits of the monarch to public institutions has revealed a stark divide in enthusiasm. The photograph depicting the king in the ceremonial uniform of an admiral of the fleet was made available to over 20,000 institutions, but uptake has varied significantly. While HM Coast Guard centres enthusiastically embraced the gesture, every single one of his 23 stations from Falmouth to Shetland requested the portrait. Other sectors were far less eager. Out of 1,454 hospitals, only 40 accepted the portrait, representing less than 3% of eligible facilities. Similarly, just 35 of the UK's universities and higher education establishments, or about 7.4%, opted to display the King's likeness. The photograph taken by Chris Jackson was intended to commemorate the new reign and strengthen ties between the monarchy and public institutions. However, the lukewarm response from many sectors underscores a varied appetite for royal representation in public spaces. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and leave us a review or 5 stars if you're enjoying the show. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.